So apparently the answer to the video title is the work activities as well as the DI lovers. And here's the answer. I mean, like, how many people will you stay all the way to the random chat? I mean, like, most of the time I don't see a lot of people stay throughout most of my random chat. But anyway, hello there, how's your day? I'm Mega Kita Des. Alright, let's talk about who is actually fully angry about the cancellation of the Star Wars The Acolyte as well as the Game Concord. Well, it's actually kind of ironic that both the show and the game got cancelled, and a lot of people kind of like saying that the reason for it is because of lower player count or viewers count, or at the same time it can be also due to that because people doesn't like, if people don't like the game or don't like the show, they don't even play it, they don't even watch it. And in a way it kind of like seems very logical that way when you think about that. The one who say all this, like, if you don't like the show, don't watch it. If you don't like the game, you don't play it. And it's actually being told by the so-called work activities and DI lover. And when they stop getting people supporting the game or people don't like the show, it kind of like get everyone into showing the Pikachu face where they kind of damn shocked about how is it even possible. And now they start playing the victim card along the line that is so damn fun. It's actually kind of ironic that the gamers themselves also put up that don't make female character prettier. Well, I guess the person who wrote that never been to the beach along the line. So let's talk about the issue on the Star Wars Acolyte as well as the Game Concord. Actually, more so let's talk about game itself to make it even better. I mean, like, no, it's not because game character need to look pretty to sell, or is it that you have to have a game to be interesting to sell. It actually kind of like a combination of every single thing that make what a game the game. So obviously when you kind of like have a game issue where not only is the character don't look good, but also at the same time the game being unplayable, obviously you kind of like get people turned off. It's the same thing when you go to a fast food restaurant and you look at the menu. Isn't the hamburger looks delicious? Oh, how about that fish and chip? It looked very tempting. Yet when at the same time when the food came to you, it looked so bad, it looked so overcooked, to the point that you be like, ain't no way I am going to eat that. Well, personally, up to me, I don't really care about it. If the food doesn't even taste good, that will be a whole new problem. Because sometimes food, if you don't eat it, if you say that you don't eat with your eyes, well, at the same time, how about eat it with your damn mouth? I mean, at the end of the day, it's still gonna let us fill up, and yet most of the time when you look, the food itself don't look good and it doesn't even taste good. Do you think you want to go to the same place to buy the same food again? Well, unless you are matchalist who love to eat those sort of thing, then by all means go ahead. But the thing is, right, it's kind of ironic about what those people making about game, about, oh, it's because it's DI or it's because of diversity or whatever the thing along the line is. Dude, I just get a good metaphors to you guys that you guys can understand, and yet if you guys still pressing the dislike button and don't even understand the logic, then I'm not gonna help you guys. It's kind of ironic that when you think about it, right, is that often more than not, a game, the reason why a lot of game character, like a lot of Japanese game character or Chinese game company in recent years as well as South Korean game, sorry, that being so-called on the selling point is that, number one, the game is fun, which is basically what a food should be like, in this case, a game should be. Now, obviously when you go and eat something, if your food present to you is look good enough, you'll be like, oh, it's gonna look delicious. So in the same way, it's the same logic for a game. If the game character, everything look nice, the graphic look nice, the character look nice, everything look nice, obviously people will want to play the game. It's the first step to everything. If you put a freaking sloppy Joe on it, how many people is gonna like it? Well, there may be a lot of people fan base for it, don't get me wrong, sloppy joe is a good food, but only thing is that not everyone love it. Because to some people, they say, oh, you look very sloppy, it look very disgusting, or maybe some people don't even like the bean in it. So at the end of the day, it's kind of like depend on people. So there are people who like this sort of thing, like the Acolyte, there is the Concord game, which there are quite a few fans. We have to understand that. Like, if there is fan for sloppy Joe, obviously for this sort of thing there is gonna be a fan, people are gonna be mad, and now we have to ask ourselves, who is actually mad about it? Well, apparently, I believe for the first part of people who is loving this sort of thing is the game journalists. Well, I'm not gonna say are they actually more like DI lover or so-called work activities. It's actually more so that this is a term given by a lot of people on the internet to those people or highlight them as those people. And you will have to really sit down and ask yourself like, are the game journal even trustable? Mind you guys, I did a freaking video about it, link in the description below if you guys want to know more. But it's actually ironic that how a lot of games or the show being so-called like inclusive or DI or inclusive or woke or whatever thing, and you actually kind of like get high score for it. But people who don't even embrace those things, like Black Myth Wukong or Stellar Blade, or even the three MiHoYo game, Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, and Xenosaga Zero. Mind you guys, their first game was Honkai Impact apparently, and it never got a lot of attention at all. But when you think about it, it's kind of like, why those games got 6 to 8, but yet all these games immediately just like get a 7, full of boss, unplayable, a character don't even look good. I guess they are the sloppy Joe lover at this point of time. It's kind of ironic that how a lot of people always talk about, hey, we should have this sort of thing happen or that sort of thing happen along the line. Yet people don't even sit down and think about why would people even embrace this sort of thing. It's not about like people hate it or whatever. It's just that earlier when I mentioned that if you have everything look good, if you have the and more so that if you have the fun, you have the media, everything, if you like it, obviously people is gonna like it, even if the game is playable but the character don't look good, at least people will support it in some way, somehow, somewhat. But yet, if you have the thing don't even look nice, don't even look good, don't even have anyone even want to support it, it just shows how bad the thing is, the product is. And obviously when you're have a high company up there like Sony or Disney, looking at the failure of this thing, the Concord, the Star Wars Outlaw or the Acolyte, it's gonna turn the higher up to kind of like, hey, let's just cancel everything. It's not like being cancelled by the fan base, but it's cancelled by the higher up. And you have to sit down and think like, who is cancelling who now? Is it the gamer who cancelling them, or is it the higher up who is cancelling themselves? At this point of time, I'm in time to think that it's the higher up who cancel those sort of things, because at this point of time, when everyone just don't want to support it, like what learning the law say, you spoke with your wallet and that is everything. And it's kind of ironic that when you think about it, it's like, dude, I'm not even want to say like, do I feel like I want to support this sort of action or motion? I mean, like, to me, a game, if it entice me to play the game, I will play the game. If the show is interesting to get me sit down and watch it, I will sit down and watch it. If it's too cringy, obviously I will just say sayonara. If it's not even playable, I will just throw it out of the window. Well, technically the window that have a balcony on it as well. Just don't throw it out of the window, because the last thing you want is getting hit on someone's head. Well, unless the person is a person who loves this sort of thing, then maybe they can just pick up the game and play the game along the line. But it's kind of ironic that a lot of people always kind of think and say that, oh, people are just mad and mad and mad. You know, actually more so that I'm actually surprised that people decided to, who is mad about it, decided to go around and start attacking anyone and even trying to take down video about it. I mean, like, dude, you guys are the ones who are mad about people who don't support the thing, and if people don't like it, don't watch it, don't play it. Yeah, now you guys are not turning back and say that, oh, we are the victim. Oh, I believe that everyone who is so-called winning are definitely having a champagne moment, drinking some sort of drink and shouting like, we are the winner, we are the winner. And then everyone just go on with their life and forget that Star Wars Acolyte even exists in the same place. Or maybe the Concord, a game that one existed. But you guys, I actually did a video about it, don't need to worry. Link in the description below, you can check it out later. So the thing is, right, when you kind of like think about a lot of games and what's not, it's like, dude, I don't feel like anyone should be mad about the failure or the success. Every time when you have things that if people like it, if there is a fan, don't attack those people. Like, dude, you want to do DI, make sure that it's equal throughout. Like, I actually have a discussion about it in my live stream. If you guys want to come and listen to it, come to my live stream, listen. discuss about it, we can have a chit chat. At least better than some people who just decide to create their own live stream and just say that, oh, we are not going to have any criticism, apparently. And we'll talk about that in a while because I don't want to keep this video too long. It's kind of interesting that when you think about a lot of things about is DI diversity or whatsoever being the fault of everyone, or is it the developer, or is it the journalist who kind of like been pushing this sort of so-called agenda or propaganda into the mind of people? I mean, like, it's kind of understandable because if you think about it, like, people love things. If they like it, there will be a lot of people who support it. There will be people, even like if the character is not whatsoever, they will just try to make it even better. Yet at the same time, when you have things that don't even look good, obviously people is gonna just get turned off. It's the same thing like back to the food that I say, if you guys can complain about a food that doesn't even look like the menu, don't even taste like it's supposed to taste delicious, then obviously people is not gonna even buy the damn food. But yet people still support it. Why? Because number one, there is a branding for it. Number two, there are some people who like the taste instead of you. Number three, at least people are enjoying it and people have the right to choose what they like. It's just that simple. It's just that at this point of time, the Acolyte as well as Concord is just basically a huge failure at this point of time, that not only do it make millions, hundreds and millions of loss. I mean, like Concord took 2 million, 200, not 2 million, but 200 million in development only, alright? That means that marketing fee, server fee, campaign fee, every whatsoever fee out there, or even it's gonna make the price even higher. So even for the show, which apparently like Star Wars that took almost nearing 200 million as well to produce, it's actually make more sense for Disney to put a plug on the cancellation, because if they decide to cause even more harm to their own branding of the Star Wars, yeah. Oh, actually more like less best not to say that it's gonna Star Wars is gonna get even more worse. Why? Well, it will become their nightmare in future. Mind you guys, I did a video about that. Go and check that video out if you guys haven't watched it or want to know more of my take. I know I talk a little bit more than 30 minutes. It's just that I'm a lot too much. It's the reason why I'm trying to keep this video short, because most of the point, I said it before, I know for me to go and repeat those damn thing again. But it's kind of ironic about like a lot of, like, I actually agree with learning the law comment. Like, they have the money, they have the the fun, the connection, the media, the whatever thing, and yet they always feel like they are not the problem, it's the audience problem. And it's kind of like you really have to sit down and think, if you are creating a product not for the audience, not for the gamers, then who is your targeted audience? Is it the so-called, like at the start of the video I mentioned, the DI lover or the work activities? I mean, like, at this point when people say that, oh, those people are the loud minority, I feel like when we look at the whole number in the whole damn world, I feel like they are the actual loud minority, dude. It's really kind of like telling themselves they're no longer holding a gun and shooting at their own feet. They're just aiming the freaking cannon at themselves and ready to receive the cannonball. And mind you guys, I feel like the cannonball is gonna hit them so damn hard that they actually gonna panic to the point of no return. And to be honest, I can't predict that they will go full idiotic. I actually did predict it because I was actually waiting for quite a lot of information to be released to let me go and take a look from a lot of point of view. And mind you guys, actually did a very good take on about like the baby in the so-called the DEI lover. The CEO Kim Belair decided to declare war on gamers, where they actually go and did a video on the black girls gamers, where they claim that they are black. Where they claim that the Gamergate is because of gamers issue, when in fact it was basically a game journalist using sensual stuff to get what they want, as well as to pull up a good game review. Basically, in most simple word, bribing. Anyone who knows bribing is always never a good thing. If people decide to bribe me, by all means, I will receive the money and I will just show the whole world that how I received the money from this person. That's the reason why you won't even get to see me doing sponsorship for MiHoYo, even though I love to play MiHoYo games. The day that you see me doing promotion for MiHoYo game will be the day when I will just admit at the same time, I got paid by them as well. But it's actually kind of ironic that how they actually decided to say that, oh, the toxic side of gaming. When the funny thing is that the toxic themselves and not the gamers. I mean, like, sure, there may be gamers who are toxic. I mean, like, look at Southeast Asia. When everyone play Mobile Legend or Dota game, and then when they start losing, they start throwing the game. Yeah, definitely toxic, right? Those people are very toxic, right? Well, not as toxic as those game journalists, apparently, or even the DI lovers along the line. It's actually kind of ironic that when I was looking at it, and they say, oh, they are gonna declare on the war. It's like, dude, if I am there, number one, I want double down. Number two, because it's a loss, just a million. The cancellation of Star Wars The Acolyte as well as the shutdown server of the Concord actually show to the whole world how much people are not supporting it. This is actually how a freaking protest should be, and if that still doesn't show anyone how crazy they is, I have no idea. Like, seriously, how many times do I have to keep saying this again and again? And actually more so that when I say that apparently when I said at the start of the video, like, why I say apparently is the work activities or the DI lover. Well, don't blame me, because when I say apparently, it's what Hill-san as well as Rev Say Desu saying it, alright? So Rev Say Desu actually did they themselves did a video on themselves where the failure of Concord's Hill-san actually covered it about how people talking, oh, they're trying to bring it that people are saying is the diversity, when in fact it's because of diversity itself that the game got a lot of people hating it. But it's not just that only. They always kind of like saying strong word of mouth, dude. Like, seriously, are we going back to that point of like saying that, sorry, like, are we going back to the point where IGN have the so-called stronger mouth out there giving a good point for every single thing, and you are not going to say that, oh, there is no stronger mouth? Dude, it's not about over-exaggeration or the market is frustrated along the line. It's basically that when you throw a game to the whole world, you have to make sure that the game is attractive, the game is fun to play, not basically full of buff, full of ugly character, and full of unplayable gameplay that get people so turned off they decided not to even play the game. And when they release the shutdown and say that Concord's fans, wow, where are they? Are you talking about the electric fan that is blowing me right now? Not because of the essential stuff, but because in Singapore it's so damn hot that I need an electric fan because I don't have air conditioner. Well, it's kind of ironic that this sort of thing is actually so funny that they kind of like they're trying to cope and sing as what the Western people love to use, and actually more so that it's actually more like if they are not stupid enough, well, this just proves how stupid they can be. It's like, I believe that a person there's a limit to a person's stupidity. But I was proven wrong by them. Apparently, you can become even stupider. So it really kind of like show how much people like talking about ENRAGES or whatsoever. And oh yeah, Rasan did talk about it, but the Rasan actually didn't talk a lot of issue about, I believe, like, other than this episode, this commercial, I'm not gonna watch it anyway. So it's actually, I would, don't worry, I will put up their video on the link description below. You guys go and check it out yourself. But it's actually kind of ironic about how those things actually being so-called being pushed towards everyone, and it feel like just telling the whole world that this is the propaganda or political or whatever along the line in game, and this will be the norm. And when you think that Sony, when you think that Sony is going to stop at this sort of thing, you'll be wrong. Man, JT later on did a video about how Sony decided to go with another disaster, apparently, called a Concord 2.0, or actually more so, I have no idea what the game is, until when I have to check it out, and apparently, it's a game about you going and rob the rich. Yeah, you just rob the rich and get the money for yourself, not for other people. It's not a Robin Hood story game, alright? If Robin Hood, I mean, like, technically it's a lot of people love to go with the fantasy stock Robin Hood, is that Robin Hood go and steal money from the rich and give it to the poor. This one, you steal from the rich and you use the money for your own. Wow. A game that teach me how to be a thief at this point of time. It's kind of ironic, right? I mean, like, we got Assassin's Creed where initially when I say the game is more about we just going around killing people, or even Hitman going around also killing people. And yet people are not saying that, oh, now let's create a game about let's be a thief and go and steal the rich. I wouldn't be surprised if someone actually decided to go with the idea that, hey, let's go and steal from the people from the rich in real life. AKA, a lot of this happening in America, apparently. So it's kind of ironic about how a lot of Western games is just getting more and more ridiculous to the point that it's really kind of like made me wonder, like, do I really want to give it a wait and see approach and see whether maybe there is a niche? I mean, like, if Assassin's Creed and Hitman can be a hit, then there is a possibility of it being a thing. But at this point, it's really hard to wonder. I mean, like, if they can't, like, this is just me giving a last piece of advice to this games company if you're actually watching it all the way. Number one, if you really want to add in this sort of thing, it's fine if the story is like Hitman. Like, what made Hitman so lovable for many people is that the game character, those so-called target, are actually more towards like they have a reason why you have to take them out. They are more like a villain, or they are more on creating trouble for others. So if you're gonna say like those billionaire that you're gonna steal, they are actually people who cause the suffering of the poor people or people along the line, then I think it's fair to say there is a possibility of it being a thing. So if they play it right, or make it even with a good story base, I think there is a possibility. At the same time, it would be that the gameplay need to be workable. It has to be fun before it became a thing. Maybe they can add in like some sort of like braiding entering the place, or stealthily enter the gameplay. Like, it can be any gameplay. It just depends on the player itself. So if they played it right, it can be a thing. I don't agree with JT-san saying that it may be just a 2.0 of Concourse. If they don't, I mean, like, if they make, if they want to make the character ugly or whatsoever, I'm not saying that I'm against it or what for it. It's more towards like if you're able to have really like what inclusive and diversity and everything itself is that when you say that you include not only just some people, but you also include like some good looking character, at least a balance of both, I think that's fine. It's a possibility. It's just that whether you've played it right. But at this point of time, I'm not even sure whether how people will go with it along the line. So I'm just gonna leave it up as my speculative thought, just a random chat. So if you have your own opinion, your own take, or your own view, write in the comment below, we can discuss it further. And till then, if you do like this video, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe for more random chat where I talk about stuff that sometimes never makes sense, or sometimes makes sense, or whatever sense. But the one thing I can make sense out of is, I hope you guys have a nice day or night. Bye!